Hey everybody, it's Coach Jason. Hope you're doing well. I know normally I'm posting training videos or fully detailed training programs about everything from cross country to 5K to 10K to half marathon to marathon with all the detail, and that stuff's important. Okay, but I want to share a little bit of a different perspective today. From 20 plus years personal experience as a former competitor and the coach. Okay, um, and this is essentially some insights or perspectives for new runners, whether you're joining a high school team or whether you're going to just want to train for your first 5K or 10K or half marathon or marathon. You're essentially beginners runners, okay, beginning runners, new runners. Um, Things that I've learned over the last 2 decades that I think would be really, really beneficial, that are not necessarily training specific. Okay, you will have some stuff, and I'll put some stuff in the description down below how to train for your first 5K or half marathon or marathon. I'll put that stuff down below. I'll put some other things as well for beginners that I encourage you to take a look at, and everything will be fully detailed. But today I just want to go over some things that sometimes get overlooked, or sometimes we just don't kind of put the pieces together, don't realize, okay, that I think would be really, really helpful. Okay, number one, it's embrace the process. Okay, now this is to me, it's kind of got a web of different legs, but embracing the process as a new athlete or a new runner can really, really put yourself in a position physically and mentally to succeed. Okay, now some pieces that go along with it. Number one, consistency. Okay, it's important to be consistent, particularly early on. Okay, now consistent in the beginning is going to be consistently easy, because if you just hop right in to a heavier training load, chances are you're going to you're going to be overly sore, and you may put yourself at risk of getting injured, and so on and so forth. We have to figure out what your body can handle, what your athletes can handle. I know I had this problem because I didn't start running until I was a junior in high school. I wanted to do what my teammates were doing because I wanted to be as fast as them right away. Had to learn the hard way. Okay, so this is something that I think is important to emphasize. Starting easy, whether you're the coach and you're training your athletes, or whether you're training yourself, or whether you're training under your coach's plan. Hopefully he or she will instruct you or encourage you to start gradually as well. Just because you're a junior in high school doesn't mean you're training the same volume as the rest of the juniors are, because you're just new. You're new to the team. That goes the same thing when you're training for your first 5K. You don't need to run 70 miles a week to train for your first marathon, okay? It doesn't work like that. And you'll see, you take a look at the detailed training programs, you'll see how there's days off plugged in there, cross-training days, to allow your body to adapt, okay? Now, the other component to consistency, and consistency is very important, is patience. Now, from personal experience, I am not the most patient person, okay? It's not always been my strong suit. I've gotten a lot better. As a coach, I'm much more patient than I was as an athlete. Okay, I wanted instant results. It didn't always work that way. And like I said, I had to learn the hard way. As a coach, from personal experience now, I can speak from the other side. And being patient and consistent at the same time don't always work well together. Okay, and because generally, especially when you start doing well, you start to feel good. You want to do more. You want to do more and more and more and more and more. You want to kind of double down on what's doing well. Problem with that is it didn't give your body a chance to adapt to things, and it's very important to give the body a chance to adapt. Okay, and I speak about this in a lot of my training videos, particularly periodization, because it takes the body 21 to 28 days to adapt to a certain training stimuli before you change it around and incorporate other things. Okay, and the last thing you want to do is keep going up and up and up and up and up. You have to give your body a chance to level off. Okay, that's where the patience comes into play. Okay, and again, it's important, okay? And sometimes it gets overlooked because just as competitors, we want to do well, we want to keep doing well, we want to do better. So I get it, totally get it. But with that said, for me, one of the things to emphasize with regards to being patient consistency is getting in shape in the beginning is probably one of the tougher things to do, okay? But being in shape once you get there is one of the most awesome things to do, and one of the best places to be. Okay, but keep in mind that consistency and that patience, okay, takes both of them to get there, and it also takes both of them to stay there. Once you're in shape and you're doing well, and you start to realize things, you start to feel really good, you start to nail workouts, races, runs. You'll even run well, and particularly, on days where you feel like total shit. Okay, excuse my language. Days where you feel awful and you run really well, you're fit. Okay, you're fit, and those days will happen. Um, so that's part of the process. Okay, and keep that. I hope that you keep that in mind. Like I said, getting fit is tough. Being fit is awesome. Okay, but it's important to follow the pieces to get there. Okay, patience, consistency, and then the little things. Okay, little things like nutrition. Think of yourself as a high-powered Lamborghini or Ferrari. You want to put premium fuel into your engine, right? And not unleaded or some crap fuel. Okay, so it's important to fuel prior. It's important to fuel after. Okay, for recovery purposes. Sleep. Okay, sleep is one of the more important things as well. And I know it's hard to do sometimes, particularly now where there's just so much distraction out there, so many things to watch and this and that. I get it, but if you're training as well, you want to make sure that you're getting adequate sleep because your body's going to need to recover, particularly as things get more intense. Okay, so sleep is the other part. Okay, strength training. Okay, functional strength training. If you're running your strength training, I encourage you to have a functional strength training that's running specific. Okay. And flexibility. I also encourage you to have a flexibility routine that is running specific. Okay, and I'm going to put a video down in the description about a stretch routine. Okay, I'm a Wharton certified musculoskeletal and flexibility therapist, and I have been for over 20 years. And when I met Jim and Phil Wharton at the Penn Relays when I was in college, they changed my life. Okay, and once I learned this routine, I had to get certified. I had to do it, and it's been a part of my everyday being ever since. Even if I'm not working out or running, and I'm also a lifetime martial artist, a lifelong martial artist, it's instrumental in just to feeling good every day, helping me stay healthy and limber, helping me recover from things, helping my flexibility so I can kick up here, and it's really, really one of the best. It's probably the best routine I've ever seen, just for overall feeling good, particularly for running. Okay, pre-run and post-run. Okay, it can be the difference between needing 3 to 4 miles to start to feel loose for a long run or feeling good as soon as you get out of the door. Okay, and on the back end, it could be the thing that helps flush out the lactic in the legs to help you speed up recovery for the next day's run. Okay, and so it's these little things I hope that you consider. They are, some of them might sound redundant, but it's how you piece them together that matters. Okay, how you piece them together. And I notice, a lot of times, and I'm speaking from experience, the desire to do all this stuff. Okay, but keep in mind, we have school, we have jobs, we have lives. How do you fit them in is the key. Okay, and that's where coaching comes into play. Whether you're the coach and you're working with your athletes, or whether you have a coach, or whether you're coaching yourself. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them as well. I'm also a USATF certified coach, and I have been for the past 20 years, almost 20 years. And I still coach athletes at the high school, college, and post-college level. And I've competed at all 3 levels as well. So this stuff is from personal experience. And, and again, I wanted to just talk about these things from a coaching perspective and emphasize how important they are. But again, there's individualized components. It's up to you to figure out how they fit. Okay, it's up to you to figure out how it fits for your athletes, because everybody has a little bit of a different. A lot of folks are similar, can handle similar training, but everybody has individualized needs. And where are those needs? Where are those needs? Where do you need to address them? Okay, take a look at the training programs just so you could see how I lay things out, because I incorporate, recovery, and you'll see, because, and I'll end with this. You'll find athletes who need to run hard 3 times a week. You'll find athletes that need to run too hard 2 times a week. You'll find athletes that only need to run hard 1 time per week. That's okay. There's not a meat and potatoes program for everybody. Okay, not everybody's going to respond the same way to a training program. Okay, so it's important to know your athletes, know yourself, see what works, see what doesn't work, and plug the pieces into play. Okay, that's where you can really, really, really take your training or your team to the next level. So with that, I hope you found this enjoyable. Please put some comments down below if you have any insight of your own. If you enjoyed, please click the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please, I encourage you to do so. I would appreciate your support. I want to continue growing this channel. I want to make it one of the best running channels out there. And, I learn from you folks as much as you'll learn from me as well. And if you want detailed training programs, make sure you take a look at the videos that I put out. And you're not going to want to miss the ones I'm going to be putting out. So be safe. Look out for each other. Train smart. Train hard. And I will talk to you next time.